Chapter 438, 360 million. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Liu Kai was rather anxious. 50 kilograms of black glazed spinel was really too much. That amount was impossible for him to collect within 3 days. What should he do? Liu Kai frowned, and let out a long sigh. He struck out 2 signal flares immediately, with one flying to Marshall Market Bank and another flying to St. Bougentry. I hope I can buy the black glazed spinel from St. Bougentry and Marshall Market Bank. Even if they overcharged us, it would still be worth it. He must buy it no matter how high the price was. However, some news came back from St. Bougentry and Marshall Market Bank a while later. They only had a small amount of black glazed spinel, which in total was less than 10 kilograms. I'm done for. Even St. Bougentry and Marshall Market Bank have only a small amount of black glazed spinel. Where can I find 50 kilograms? I'm done for. Even St. Bougentry and Marshall Market Bank have only a small amount of black glazed spinel. Where can I find 50 kilograms? At this moment, Liu Kai had no mood to welcome Zhang Yuochen. He was very anxious and walked around in circles. Zhang Yuochen sat by the side and looked very calm. He said, "Presbyter Liu, I can sell 50 kilograms of black glazed spinel to the Sword Sanctum. It's so difficult to find 50 kilograms of black glazed spinel." Wait, what did you just say? Liu Kai rolled toward Zhang Yuochen like a meatball with his eyes wide opened. He acted like a drowning man trying to hold on to a straw. He stared closely at Zhang Yuochen. Zhang Yuochen said, "I got a patch of black glazed spinel in 5 Elements Primitive World. I can give 50 kilograms of it to Sword Sanctum." Hearing this, Liu Kai's eyes were full of tears. He almost knelt down in front of Zhang Yuochen. Right. How could I forget that Mr. Zhang has been to 5 Elements Primitive World? Liu Kai pat his forehead and wanted to slap himself. "Mr. Zhang, you are really my life-saver," Zhang Yuochen said with a smile. "At first, I wanted to sell the black glazed spinel, but you suggested that I go to the auction house." Liu Kai immediately held Zhang Yuochen by his shoulder. He was so afraid that Zhang Yuochen would leave, and he said, Please don't go to the auction house. Mr. Zhang, you must sell the black glazed spinel to me. I will pay you twice the market price." "No, 3 times the market price." "Is that okay?" "If you are not satisfied, we can still negotiate," Zhang Yuochen said with a smile. "Certainly, as you wish." Nobody would think that they have made too much money. Zhang Yuochen was no exception. Liu Kai was relieved. 3 times the price seemed very high, but if he went to the auction house, the price would only be higher. Oh my god. Luckily, Zhang Yuochen did not haggle over it with him. Otherwise, Liu Kai would have to pay 5 times or even 10 times the price if he went to the auction house. Zhang Yuochen took out 100 kilograms of the black glazed spinel that was prepared a long time ago. He gave half of them to Liu Kai, which was exactly 50 kilograms. Seeing that there were still 50 kilograms of the black glazed spinel left in the box, Liu Kai licked his lips. He said, "Mr. Zhang, can you also sell another 50 kilograms of the black glazed spinel to Sword Sanctum?" "As for the price, you name it." The black glazed spinel was a spirit treasure of origin, which not only could be used to refine a weapon, but also could be used to practice the treasured body of water spirit. Its value could not be compared with any amount of spiritual crystals. He would buy as much as he could. Zhang Yuochen dug out more than 400 kilograms of the black glazed spinel in 5 Elements Primitive World. Even if he sold 100 kilograms of it to Sword Sanctum, it was not a big deal. Zhang Yuochen thought for a moment. He said, "All right. Since we are friends, I'll sell you 100 kilograms of the black glazed spinel in one go. I am still only charging you 3 times the market price." Liu Kai was very dubious. He said, "Being your friend is my great honor." Although Liu Kai's current cultivation was much higher than that of Zhang Yuochen was still one of the kings of the new generation. With his talent, his future achievements would definitely surpass Liu Kai's. Only good things would happen after making friends with Zhang Yuochen. Liu Kai called over 2 superiors of Sword Sanctum and asked them to send 50 kilograms of the black glazed spinel to the ancestor. At the same time, he handed a purple card that was made of crystal to Zhang Yuochen. He said with a smile, 100 kilograms of the black glazed spinel cost a total of 360 million pieces of spiritual crystals, which were all deposited in the Marshall Market Bank. Brother Jang, you can withdraw it at any time you want. He took over the purple crystal card and saw 9 star-shaped light streaks on the front side of the card, which was the 9-star VIP card of the Marshall Market Bank. Only those who had deposited 100 million pieces of spiritual crystals were qualified to get a 9-star VIP card. The 9-star VIP card was a symbol of great status even in East Region Saint City. Anyone with it could go to places where common people could not go. When he entered the auction house, he could also be seated on the VIP seat. Jang Yuochen injected the genuine qi into the card. Streaks of inscriptions appeared on the surface of the card, forming a series of numbers. 360 millions of spiritual crystal was a big fortune. Even a half-saint was not as rich as Jang Yuochen. After confirming the amount, Jang Yuochen nodded and smiled. Brother Lu, you are the diplomatic presbyter in the Sword Sanctum, so you should be quite familiar with East Region Saint City. There is one thing I want to ask for your help. Brother, if you need anything from me, just name it. In the Eastern Region, as long as it's not related to a half-saint, I can do it for you. Lu Yukai pat on his chest and promised. Jang Yuochen said, I want to buy a mansion in the 7th district in Jinhong mainland. It doesn't need to be too big, but it would be better not to be too far away from the Saint Academy. Lu Yukai laughed out loudly. It's just a piece of cake. I'll order someone to search right now. If there is any news, I will inform you immediately. Thank you very much, Jang Yuochen said. Lu Yukai said, we are brothers. If you say thank you, then you are regarding me as an outsider. It should be me who need to say thank you. Jang Yuochen thought for a moment. He asked again. There is one more thing. I have been troubled by a big problem recently, and I need a reliable master to protect my safety or even help me out of the trouble. Brother Lu, do you know what I should do? Lu Yukai was a smart man. He understood instantly what was going on. His eyes squinted and he asked, Brother Jang, do you need a bodyguard or a contract killer? Jang Yuochen said with a smile, if I want to hire an assassin, I would go straight to the black market. But I don't trust anyone in the black market. I understand. Lu Yukai nodded his head and stroked his beard. He said with a smile, Brother Jang, you should have heard of the mercenaries. Certainly, Jang Yuochen said. Lu Yukai said, the 31st city of Jinhong mainland is the gathering place of the mercenary. At that place, you can hire the mercenary in the Heaven Realm or Fish Dragon Realm as long as you have the money. You can even hire the King's Royal Mercenary in the half-saint class. Mercenaries who have become famous have their own beliefs, and some even value their reputation more than their lives. Moreover, there is a mercenary society in the Eastern region which specifically restricts the mercenaries and sanctions them. So if you want to hire a mercenary, going there will be a good choice. Jang Yuochen's eyes were brightened. He showed a thoughtful look. If he could hire a superior in the 9th change in the Fish Dragon Realm to kill Blood Spirit Queen, he would succeed for sure. Jang Yuochen must kill Blood Spirit Queen before he left for the battlefield of the primitive world. Hearing Lu Yukai's words, Jang Yuochen felt that it was necessary to go to the 31st city to hire a master. Even if it's not for killing Blood Spirit Queen, he could also hire someone to protect his life.